Hello everybody, good afternoon, welcome to the channel. This is Papa Bale, and we are looking at the pulse motor. I believe this is going to be the final rendition for this rotor. It's hexagonal. It's kind of perfect. I mean, if the magnets on the disc were spaced right, it would be perfect. But they basically have between 6 and 5. Oh, I could have done it a better way. Most of them have 6 in between them. I don't know how that got moved. How did that get moved? Well, some have 5, some have 6. It's not exactly perfect. Like right here. See how that's off? So we're gonna give it a little spin. I think this is one of my better rotors though. And we are gonna juice it up just a little bit. And I glued those round magnets in the middle of each node to synergize with the air core center of my coils. The table's going to start shaking because of the differential. Man, I wish there was an easier way for me to make this stuff. Then I could get it precise every time. But it's really hard to do with your hands. Everything's shaking now. Still in Excel phase. Anyway, that's good enough for me right there. Power's cut. And I have 3 capacitors hooked up, and that might be slowing everything down actually. So these 3 capacitors are hooked up, they're all hooked up to this coil right here, just that one. And they dump into this one. So I mean, they're hooked up in between this one and this one, so the load should be right there, right? I don't know. The load might be shared by all the coils since they're all in the same circuit now. So, you know, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off these capacitors and I'm going to run it again. It won't be that different, but it should be a little different. Wow, this one whips good. And to put my other rotor on at this point, I would have to remove all the coils because they're too close. By other rotor, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But we're gonna go in this ottoman. There it is right there. See how far those magnets stick out? Yeah. So this setup will not work for that rotor. So how I know how to do this, really simply. Let's see. Let's see if it'll actually make a difference. I don't know if it, I don't think it will, because alright, now that circuit's hooked up again. Let's give it a whirl, see what happens. We got the table shaking with the capacitors hooked up. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's moving a lot smoother. That got to the table shaking phase a lot faster. No idea how many RPMs is out there right now. It's a lot. You know what I think? I think I might have to put those magnets on again. I don't know if they're even going to come off. I used tacky glue this time, because I didn't want them to come off. I don't want them to come off. That's the whole point. That's why you put glue on them in the first place. Anyway, I think this is truly awesome. This little rotor right here, this one disc rotor, it's freaking awesome. I mean, everything lines up the way it's built. It's good. And I think that without the capacitors, it's free to spin like a lot more, because there's no vacuum effect from the coils. Like with those big magnets and the other rotor in there, yeah, there'd be major issues right now with the ability to free spin. And what's the deal with the free spin? The free spin, this spin right here, is costing nothing. All the other spinning costs something. Okay, you get what I'm saying? The free spin is where you're saving energy, regardless of whether it's perpetual or not. Okay, it's vital. It is vital to the equation of perpetual motion. The ability to coast. I'm not sure if that's like legit, you know, but I would feel like the ability to not spend energy and move is key. And you could say that because it's a permanent magnet and it's not plugged into the wall, that it's free energy, right? Wrong. Wrong. That's wrong. And I mean, if you want to get technical, you got to consider all the energy it took to make the magnets. Just all of it, man. It's just nothing. Knock on wood. We hope this isn't right, but nothing is free. It can be abundant, it can be exponential, but it isn't free. I guarantee you. Free is a capitalistic word. that only exists in capitalism. And it has nothing to do with it being void of cost. Okay? That's horseshit. If you look on the sign and it says free, and you read right below it, it would say you have to buy 2 of these to get 1 for free. But they put free in big letters. Like, hey, yo, come over here. I'll just give you this. No. First you got to get up. You got to get out of bed. You got to get in your car. You got to drive to the store. All that costs energy. All that has a cost to it. All of it. From beginning to end, whatever you're doing in that day has a cost. I mean, even, having sex, the best things in life are free. Bullshit. You're gonna bang till your bones hurt. Your bones hurting? That's a cost. There's always a cost. It doesn't have to be even like an eye for an eye cost. That's not what cost means. Okay? If I put a penny in the machine and gives me $100 back, then that means that $100 isn't worth that much. Because that's not the way the world works. It's not a more valuable penny. It's a less valuable $100. That's the way the world works. I'm sorry. In order to change this, my brother has a channel, and it's called the Convergence Emergence, and you need to check out his channel because he's talking all about what needs to happen to make these changes happen. I mean, if you want something to be free, you got to start from the ground up. You can't just... No. Anyway, he'll explain it to you more if you'd like to go and check out his channel. And it's all about exponential growth and abundance and having all necessities met for free, like taken care of for every citizen of the United States for free. And eventually, once we get the United States down, because that's who we are, we're United States citizens, and we're going to look after ourselves first. We're going to take care of the rest of the world in the same fashion. And it should happen really, 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 really fast. It's not like they're going to have to wait years to get assistance. See, that misalignment right there is really bugging me. It's like bugging me. They might, let's see. This one is misaligned. This one is slightly misaligned, but it looks a lot better. See, when they line up, this one and the one on the other side, it's kind of okay. Yeah, that one's good. So those two other ones are kind of misaligned. I need to see if I can even take those off of there. Because I don't want to take any of the any of the magnets off of the disc itself. Any of these little bar ones right here. See, like right there, that was just done with my finger, but that's not gonna, charge anything or juice anything up, or if it is, it's gonna be very slight. But since the capacitors are not hooked up, it is free motion, free to move. There's nothing obstructing its motion. There's no resistance from the coils. I mean, it is on a bearing, which is a ceramic bearing. I don't know if I was supposed to use that lithium grease on that, but it still works. And then it's floating there. It's just floating there, allowing for very smooth motion. You gotta understand. All right. Thank you very much. Please subscribe and have a nice day.